Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Tape my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. I wanna taste your content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption, breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Just wanna be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be safe, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, 'cause you should know only fools
What's going on?
keep trying to get too close.
How we doing? Aya in the house. Josh, what's going on? Dro, show me the money. Show me the money. Call me Jerry Maguire, baby. Tic tac, tic tac. Hola, hola. What's up, Oscar? Off we go. Got about a minute and a half here to the bell. So I may have traded the My Funded Futures account after stream yesterday, and I may have passed it via the consistency rule. So this is now a funded My Funded Futures account, which I figured we could trade until 10:30 when we place the chat trade. So yeah. See if you guys can pick the right direction today. So now we got the Tradeify account, which I almost traded this, but I realized it was news, so I didn't. I was like, ooh, look at this move. And then I was like, oh, wait, it's 8:30. Let me check if it's news, which it was. I put the rest of the news here this morning. 9:45, we have final manufacturing PMI, and then 10 o'clock, there's the ISM manufacturing PMI. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, oops. It's just a matter of seeing what happens. Ooh-wee. What's going on, Donovan? Zishan, good morning. You know who's been slacking a lot lately is Fralgo. I feel like you never see him in the morning anymore. He always comes in around like 10:30, 11 o'clock. What a slacker. At least he shows up on like Aya. Aya's the one that's here today. Just saying. Good morning, Pollock. Marbles is reserving it for 20 people. Once we get 20 people in here, we'll play. Hit that like button. It'll help get some people in here. Excuse me. I got the hiccups today. Where is... There it is. Yeah, I forgot to start the Q&A. Ask me about my wheat. Ask me anything. Oh, I love that. I love that movie. Oh, what's we got going on here at the open? It's a little scary. It's a little scary. Maybe down through 19,000, I'll trade it on the Tradeify account, but I'm not jumping in this at the bell on the new. Oh, look at that. It would have worked beautifully. 20 points just like that. 30 points. 40 points. 50 points. 60 points. Oh my jeez peasy. I'm not going to say it, but if I were to say it, I would have said if I would have jumped in, this thing would have went down to 19,800. Just to punish me for getting in 15 minutes before 15 minutes after the bell. That was a crazy rebound candle. I mean, that's exactly what I'm looking for every day is a push down to the bands and an immediate rebound like that. I mean, that was picture perfect. But unfortunately, it's so close to the bell that I didn't want to risk it. I thought about it. I switched over to the Tradeify account just to see if I could. And then I was hoping for the push down through 900 and I was gonna, but didn't quite get it. Didn't quite get it. We'll switch back over for now. That's an ugly looking first 3 candles, though. I'll tell you that. Back down we go. It's a good day in the neighborhood. Market doesn't like you. Market don't care about me. I feel like that's the one thing that I've learned the most over the years. The market don't care about me. You know what I care about right now, though? Is I really want a bagel with cream cheese. Ugh. I have to go to Tesla today. After the stream. I actually might have to end the stream a little early to make sure I have time to go to Tesla. I need to get them to fill out a paper for me for taxes. The taxes. We ain't got 20 people yet. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Maybe it'll get 20 people in here. Reserving marbles for 20 viewers. Tesla getting a new CEO. I mean, we'll see. That could just be a... It's a coup! They're trying to force him out. He doesn't want out. No, I'm just kidding. I think it would probably be best for the company. I feel like he does too much. Imagine he hires a CEO for Tesla. Not resigns, but kind of like puts Doge on the back burner. And it's all because he's ready to travel to Mars. I don't know. Who knows what he wants to do? Only he knows what he really wants to do. Maybe he's hiring a CEO for Tesla so that he can focus more on Doge. Who knows?
I want to be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen, I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering, negativity is a plague for the mentally weak, no mercy, all I got is working, never stop searching, never quench the thirsty, I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it, it's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
Oh, was hoping for a push down there. Didn't get it. Push back. Good morning. Oh, by the way, if you've never traded with My Funded Futures before, if you've never had an account with them, apparently they're going to be introducing a 50% off for new users. Every new customer will get 50% off any My Funded Futures plan. $0 activation fees. Less than $70 to start. I guess if you use the 50K starter. Or do they have a 25K? I don't know. I think 50K is the lowest. And then obviously you get everything that comes with My Funded Futures. I don't know if that starts today, but I think it is. Just an FYI, if you haven't used My Funded Futures yet, it looks like... Yeah, I think it did start today. Yeah. So every user gets 50% off any plan, 0 activation fees. That's it. Easy peasy. So if you've never used them before, right now they would be the cheapest out there, at least for your first account. Just FYI. All right, getting a push down here. Push down through 900 pretty good. I'd be pretty interested, actually. I'm looking to make about $200-300 a day on this account, if possible. That's my goal. All right, here's 900. See if we can push away to like 880. That would be pretty ideal. We had 20 people yet. Close. 17. Still at the same amount of likes, though. I know you can hear me. I know you're the one that hasn't hit the like button yet. Oh, man. Ugh. Need a big push. Need a big candle. Need a big candle. All right, it's trying. Oh, you know what I just remembered? That this account has the scaling on it. So I can't start this on the NQ. I got to go to the MNQ. Because you guys know my strat involves scaling in here and there. Which also kind of sucks because I'm pretty sure I only get 5 micros and not 10. So I might have to do like a start with 2. And I'll only get 1 ad. Ugh. He's back with Coke Zero? No. Marbles at 20 people, man. We're almost there. Hit the like button. It'll help. It'll help. It'll help get more people in here. It's still Fresca. No caffeine, my man. No caffeine. We at 20 people? I see 18. I see 18. Zishan be posting a crap ton of stuff in this channel, and I think it's just all his Instagram crap. AI versus refund scammer? I actually saw that on my feed. Is it actually worth watching? Well, my side shows 20. How about now? Garen, good morning. What is a we? So, Steve, think of a movie when you're reading the Q&A thing. Ask me about my... Now back to 19. Deserved, though, since he never sees me anymore. Wait, what are we talking about? You must have pissed YouTube off. You're never on my main recommended page anymore, and now I gotta find you. Yeah, dude. YouTube does hate me. I swear. I don't know. Me and the algorithm do not get along very well. Do you think trading is the best way to make money? No. I mean, it can be if you know how to trade and are a profitable trader, but I mean, if you're just some random person asking me if it's the best way to make money, then no, it's definitely, I wouldn't say it's the easiest. Is it the best once you're profitable? I would say yes, but you got to be profitable. I would say trading is the hardest thing to do ever. And if you're not cut out for it, then no, it's not going to be the best way to make money. It's the most fun way. Yeah. Show the baby video I posted. See, this is what I'm talking about, Z. I'm not just going to... A lot of the videos you post are dumb. I'm just going to straight up tell you. They're dumb. And I don't want you to sit here and post all these videos that you are posting anyway in the channel that I made specifically for you that you don't use anymore, just so that I'll watch them. But it's funny. All right, let's all see what Zishan's form of funny is. The problem is you also didn't link this, so I can't bring it over onto the stream. Do you have a link for it? Because you downloaded it and posted it straight to the channel. And I don't feel like dragging the Discord over and yada yada. Well, it looks like 19 or 900 is being held as support. So are you and GDT going to make a video together? I don't know, GDT. Are we going to make a video together? I'm voting if it was funny or not. No link. You're killing me. Is this what I'm talking about, Z? This is what I'm talking about. So look, here, let me show you guys something. I made Zishan his own channel. The last time he posted in there, oh, okay, so it was, what, 3 days ago? But he'll do that. He'll come into the off topic and he just starts posting videos. And then I made this channel, stuff for me to react to on stream. And now he's turned this into his channel that he just posts everything. No, Marbles isn't started yet. But all right, here we go. Here's his baby video. Let's watch it together so we can judge Zishan. You ready? Let me turn the desktop audio on. Let me pause the music. All right, here we go.
Fucking cold.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Fuck off.
Excuse me?
Fuck off.
Excuse me?
Fuck off.
Elga, can you lie down?
Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I don't think I need to run a poll. That was good. But then, all right, let's watch it. Let's watch a different one here. Let's see what else he's throwing at us.
It's more important to get the phone charged than life support. It's more important to get the phone charged than life support.
It's more important to charge your phone than life support. Like that's just dumb. That's just dumb. Like, that's dumb. I guess let me turn this to 1 too. I'm crying.
Get on your other foot. Give me your other foot.
But again, so like this could be funny, but it pisses me off more than it's funny because how do you let your kid climb? Like, at what point are you not watching your kid long enough to let him crawl all the way up there and then under the glass as well? Like, at what point were you that bad at parenting that you let that happen? Dumb. This is what I'm talking about. He just posts this random shit all day. This is what he does. I've seen that one before.
They're not toys, okay?
But again, dumb. And then, I mean, obviously, yeah. This is even more dumb. People are like flipping out about this whole one gorilla versus 100 men thing. I don't quite understand it. This was kind of cool, but just come on, man, step up your game. You shouldn't be posting things unless they have you on the floor, absolutely like laughing your ass off. Come on, get with it. Get with it. Ridiculous that I have to teach you how to post funny things. Come on. And you're like new age too. Like you're young. Like you think that stuff's funny? Come on. Post a video of you falling in at the gas station. Now that would be funny. The baby one was funny. I agree. Find more stuff like that. That was funny. But if you wait and like, see, that's the thing. It's kind of like the boy cried wolf, right? You keep doing something over and over again. So then I don't want to watch all the videos because I'm like, how many of these dumb videos do I have to watch just to find one funny one? But if you actually filter yourself and only post the funny ones, then it would be awesome. I'd be like, I'm going to watch everything Zishan posts because it's always funny. But when you keep posting these like, like I don't want to watch it. Like when I'm sending reels to my friends and my friends send reels to me, we only send the ones that we know we're going to laugh at. You can't send ones like, oh yeah, I think he'll laugh at this one. No, no. You're wasting my time and you're making me next time not want to click on your name to watch that video. Think about it. I'm not cranky. You're cranky. All right, let's turn the music back on. Let's get Marvel started. I'm not cranky. You're cranky. Which was worse, this stuff or the video game video pineapple on pizza video? Do you remember? Yeah, I remember that. I mean, just shut up and run marbles. All right, fine. Zishan got me all worked up this morning. Exclamation point marbles. Get them in. You got 10 minutes. Oh, la 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 la. Oh, man. This guy. I went to an eyeglass convention last week. It was a real spectacle. So dumb. That was pretty funny, though. So dumb, it's funny. I do like those types. I do like that it's so, like, yeah. Those are good. Those are good. Knee slapper. Do you think you'd ever do an IRL meet? Yeah, I've already done it with... Well, I've met 3 people now from online. 4. So the first person I ever met online was Brad the Baker. Then I met... I just met Thomas from the Discord. I'm assuming I'll meet Tony at some point. I'm assuming I'll meet GDT at some point. I plan... You mean like a big group meetup? Yeah, I think eventually we'll probably do something. If we ever actually get big enough to make it worthwhile. 20 people, where are you? I thought we had 20 people. Yeah, we got 20. Oh, wait, we're back down to 19 again. Jeez, a peasy. But yeah, I definitely think we'll do something at some point. In celebration of tomorrow being Friday, can we open gambling all day today? No. No. Don't you can't message me on Discord telling me what you did and then try to coax me like that. No. The GB. I try. I appreciate the effort. One thing I will never do is have a big party at my house. I'm sorry. I am not inviting a bunch of random people to my house. Ain't gonna happen. That would be reserved for people I know on a deeper level. But I would never just be like, all right, we're having a big get together at my house. No chance. Am I allowed? Says Jishan. Yeah, I'd say you're allowed. Top 3 side hustles in your opinion. I would say the whole DoorDash, Uber Eats delivery is a good one. I would say just anything in like that aspect, like Uber, just anything, any of those independent contractor type driving things. I did DoorDash, Uber Eats for a little while, mainly DoorDash, and I thought it was actually pretty good. It's good. It's good money. Not great wear and tear on the vehicle, but not bad. I don't really know any other side hustles. I know some people actually do really well, like on Facebook Marketplace, buying and reselling. A lot of times you find stuff for free on there, and then you just go pick it up and then resell it. I feel like that's a pretty good side hustle. I mean, it'd be silly of me not to say affiliate income. I mean, it's a pretty good side hustle. I would say that would be my 3. OnlyFans is a great side hustle. I wouldn't know. Trading is my side hustle. My +1 is definitely Liz. If you somehow found Liz and brought her to my meetup, I would cry. I would just like cry laughing. Would you stream GTA 6 if they had a way of making money in the game? Hell yeah. I would stream GTA 6 anyway, probably. That's one game I've been looking forward to, like, big time. I will probably suck at it because I'm not a huge GTA player, but I do play GTA on and off. Enough to the point where I could see myself streaming it when it first comes out. Dude, I have her number. Lies. 4 minutes and 44 seconds for marbles. Get them in. Looks like we got 6 members here right now. We got Waffles, Steve, Jen, Donald, Pushback, Karen. Where's the other member that should be here, Steve? Don't you gotta hit like switch account real quick? That was too funny yesterday with the members only race. You start putting some names in here as the market tries to come down and break the lows. Waffles was number 1. Steve was number 2. Jen number 3. Tomorrow we're giving away straight to funded account, by the way. So prepare for the points. I'm going hard on the straight to fundeds this month, I feel. I'm feeling like I want to give away some biggies. I'm in a mood. It's my wife's birthday month. It's spring. It's starting to feel like I'm ready to get in the pool a bunch. I'm not looking forward to all the work I have to do out back still. So I'm on my phone and I can't remember the login to switch accounts for Liz. Can you put her in anyway? No, I don't think so. That's not how this works. That's not how this works at all. I need a giveaway. Well, you'll have one tomorrow. I'm actually not going to do a Discord giveaway this week. I feel like people don't really care too much about the Discord giveaway. I feel like people don't talk in the Discord. The whole point of the Discord giveaway was to get people into the Discord so that more people would talk in the Discord and like have conversations and stuff like that, but that's not what's been happening. So maybe I'll try again with the Discord giveaways in the future, but for now I think we're gonna nix those. Just stick to the on-stream ones. I will be doing an X giveaway though. Here we go. Here we go. Go ahead, get down there. Is this news? No, it could be. Oh no, we have the 10 o'clock news about to happen though. Be careful. Do not get in. Do not trade. Do not trade. 15 seconds until big news. 15 seconds until big news. 2 minutes until marbles ends. Get your marbles in. It's just my TikTok on Discord. Yeah, pretty much. There it is. The news. Oh, we're busted. The news has busted the charts. The charts are busted. There is a lot of buying and selling going on in the same place, and it's not even that much volume. It's a little bit erratic, but it's not that much volume. Although we still have 20 some seconds left. I'm curious if we'll even beat. Like, look at the volume bars down here. I'm gonna turn the news off now because this is the last news. But see the volume down here? Like, we're not even coming up to the highest volume candle yet, and this is news. Kind of interesting, actually. Yeah, I mean, we didn't even break that top volume candle. News schmooze. All right, you got 30 seconds for marbles. Get them in. Yeah, I think I'm going to start with... Did we just start with one contract? MNQ, just to give myself some wiggle room if needed. Because I only get 5. I looked it up. I only get 5. I just have to slowly scale. It's frustrating, but it is. That's the one disadvantage with the starter accounts with My Funded Futures is once you get funded, you have the scaling. Oh boy. I feel like there was something else I had to do today, and I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was drop it off. Don't remember. Ah, that is what it was. I forgot. I gotta take some of the water. I wonder. Let me see. All right, we close marbles. You guys are still getting in, you cheaters. Cheaters. Okay. Sorry. What are you most looking forward to in the future? You know, it's sad. It's sad to say it out loud, but just the kids, seeing how they turn out. I mean, there's nothing more that I think about on a daily basis. I mean, yeah, I always think about my future and like how this is all gonna pan out for me and whatnot, but I know money comes and goes, so I'm not really necessarily too worried about that. But just my family in general, but most importantly the kids. I'm just curious to how they'll turn out, what they'll end up enjoying the most, what sports they might end up playing if they continue to play, just everything about them, like how they'll do in school, you know, how they'll adapt, what kind of friends they'll have, just everything about them. That's what wakes me up every day. I love them more than anything. I'm not. No, Steve. Steve. Oh, Steven. All right. Did we end up with... Nope. Okay, so we got the same members. How did we end up with so many people? Oh, no. We're getting botted again. I wonder if the botting is what screwed up... Well, it's sad because I also don't want them to grow up. I want them to stay young forever. And that's what makes it sad. It's sad. It's the whole... It's sad to see them grow up, but you want nothing more than to watch them grow up. Exactly. I know you understand. Yeah, my mom's living through it right now, but she gets to live through it again with the grandkids. I hope that one day I get to experience that as well. All right, 55. All right, we're good. I choose death this morning. I'm in a mood apparently. I'm gonna continue my mood with some death. It's starting to look like we're not gonna get any trades. The bot is pissing me off. Why? Where did the time go, kind of thing? Yeah. Oh, the bot, the botting. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know what to do about it. I can't do anything about it. All right, here we go. Marbles is in. Oh, it's the one that doesn't like everybody at the end. Got to hit the flat surface. You got to hit the flat surface. Let's zoom out a little bit more until we get closer to the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. Good luck. I don't want grandkids. They're supposed to be 10 times worse. It's sad but exciting getting to watch them be successful and happy. This is true. There's a song. It's the song that I told my wife, you know, when my kids get married. It's the song that I will sing or dance. You know how they always say you have the father-daughter dance and the mother-son dance, etc. And I was like, I'm sorry, but there's going to be a father-son dance at my kids' weddings. And I already have the song picked out for the both of them. And you guys should go listen to it. It's called... Or hold on, I want to make sure I have their name correct. Give me 1 second here. I know the name of the song. I just want to... I'm pretty sure the band is Anthem Lights. I just want to make sure. I literally named my car after their band because of the song. Oh, koala! Did you guys see that? She like shot down from above and then hit the thing while it was flat and it sent her through. We'll have to watch that back. That was kind of cool. Second place, Scrooge McTrades and Oscar coming in third. Okay, yeah. So it's Anthem Lights. I just wanted to make sure. I knew it was Anthem something. But yeah, the song is called You'll Always Be My Son, and it's by Anthem Lights. So You'll Always Be My Son by Anthem Lights. I can't play it on stream because it'll get copyrighted, but go take a listen to that song, and it expresses everything about how I feel with my kids. It's a great song. It's you know how everyone has like their song for their kids? Like that's my song for both my kids. Oh yeah, real quick, let's try to watch that back. That was crazy. Song. All right, so watch down like right in this area. Koala just like falls. Oh, she got blasted. She hit a barrel. Wow, she hits a barrel over here
because of the song.
and it goes right onto the track over here and then hits the thing and perfectly goes through.
Did you guys see that?
That was so cool. That was pretty cool. Koala Lawala. Get you your 1,000 points. Let me cancel that one. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. My kid doesn't want to leave her grandma. And if my kids don't want to leave their grandma, I'm screwed. Geez, so sentimental today. You on your period? Isn't it usually the other way around? All right. Loyalty. Koala Luala. Man, the trading the chart today sucks. All right, it's gonna put you at 2,950. Let's go. Scrooge McTrades. Oh, you didn't even have you stinker. You snuck in there. It's all right. You now have 530 points. Use them at will. Oscar M. Romano. 300 is going to put you at 5,650. Let's go. So that was your plan? Just move in or get them back after college? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I am not the parent that will be pushing my kids into college if they don't want to. I'll tell you that. And not because of the money, just because I don't think it's absolutely necessary. Bum, 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 bum. It's like every time you think we're going to go down, it just keeps getting bought up. Sideways day thus far. Cornelius, what's going on? Happy Labor Day. Today's not Labor Day, is it? Labor Day is my birthday, September. My oldest graduates tomorrow with his master's. That's crazy. That's awesome. Master's in what? No, my motive was more selfish. A lot of people I know had to disrupt their lives in homes for aging parents or put them in a home. I don't want to go in a home and disrupt their life. Well, little does mom know that once she starts disrupting my life, she's going into a home. No, I'm just kidding. If you go live with Top Step, can you withdraw all the money and put it in your own live account? I have no idea. I've used Top Step once. They had some sale on a holiday, and it was like a $13 account. So I tried it. I failed it, and I haven't used them since. They were never made sense to use. They were always more expensive than everything else. They're used to me being around and will take care of me when I'm old and can't for myself. She's not wrong. It's Labor Day in Kenya. Oh, well, happy Labor Day, man. Just shoot me in the backyard when I'm super old. I don't think you're allowed to do that. Social work with an emphasis on addictive studies. Oh, I thought you were talking about taking care of my mom. I was like, wait, what? Social work with an emphasis on addictive studies. That's awesome. That means they're actually trying to do some good in the world. I like that. I'll just go live at Justin's. Your brother's not GDT. Well, let me think about that. If you were to guess what your kids will grow up to be, what would it be and why? You know, that's a good question. I think my oldest is going to end up being the one that gets into something a little bit more techie. I have no idea what, but he's kind of leaning that way. And I think my youngest is going to turn out a bit more like me, where he's probably going to be a little bit more social. I think he'll also be the one that plays sports throughout high school. I think my oldest will want to play sports probably until high school. And then I think he'll start to kind of find his way. I don't think he's going to be my sports player, even though he's really into basketball. I think he'll turn into more of a spectator than a player. But he'll still play, but just not like in high school, you know? Like he won't be playing. If anything, it would still be rec kind of thing. I do think my youngest will be the one that kind of got my natural my natural talent at sports. It just kind of seems how it's playing out. Where that leads him in life, I don't know. But yeah, I think my oldest will get the techier side of me, and my youngest will get the jock type side of me. Where it leads him, I really don't know. I mean, if you really want me to guess, it'll be some kind of tech job with the oldest, and I think my youngest will be the one that lives with us until he's 30. That'd be my guess. I don't know. I'm completely guessing here. He'll be with us till he's 30 because he has odd jobs because he didn't make it in sports. He didn't become a professional athlete. I mean, you're not wrong. Camden pays attention to details. He really does. He's very like, if this, then that. My kid would be in the Secret Service killing people? Nah. My kids won't be that. I've never had that instinct. I'm more of a de-escalation, avoid conflict type of person. And I am definitely raising my kids that way. Because nowadays you never know who's in a bad mood and what they're carrying. And it's just, why chance it? Obviously, you're always still going to have randomness in life where there's things that you can't control. But there's going to be a lot of things in life that you can control. And if you're taught to control the situation in a way that prevents violence, I think you're way better off than learning how to fight violence with violence. She's a ninja, though. Don't get me wrong. There's always a place to understand self-defense. But I don't think learning self-defense is necessarily... Let me put it this way. People that learn self-defense as a young person, I feel like they tend to be like, unless they're also taught very well how to de-escalate and avoid violence, someone who knows how to handle themselves will tend to lean towards, like that, well, come at me then. Like, I know how to defend myself. Not, bro, take a step back. I don't want this to turn physical. You know? I feel like it's probably a 50-50 on how someone turns out if they do have the ability to defend themselves. I feel like peer pressure might lead them down the wrong path. Like, really? You're going to let them talk to you like that? Kind of thing? And I'd rather just be in a situation where you avoid the conflict altogether. Like, just like if someone's coming at you, you just like, okay, you're right. You know, I'm just going to walk away, even if they're not right. Like, just let them be. Like, that one person, the person that is trying to make you feel that way in life at that specific point in time, they are not someone that's going to be in your life in the future, right? So just get away from them now and just don't deal with it. I mean, obviously, if you're put in a situation where you have to defend yourself, that's where, you know, it sucks. But are you really gonna, like, I mean, it takes a lot of time. Like, even people that think they know how to defend themselves, a lot of times they don't. And then when you get older, just because you know how to defend yourself with, say, your fists, doesn't mean your fists are gonna allow you to defend yourself in the future. I don't know. It's a touchy subject, but I don't disagree that you should know how to defend yourself, but I feel learning how to not need to defend yourself is much more important. What was your biggest challenge in life and how did you overcome it? Being born. Honestly, my biggest challenge in life was probably just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And honestly, how I overcame it is I just kept doing things. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, as far as like a job, like my career, what I wanted to do with my life. I mean, I knew there were things that I wanted to do, like be a professional sports player, be a professional poker player. Like there was things that I wanted to do that were just things that never seemed like actually possible, right? You had to get lucky in a sense for either of those things to happen. But those were like so growing up, I was a jock. Like, I was really good at baseball and soccer. I never really put the effort in to go further than I did. Which was my own fault. I was just a lazy person. So that never became a thing. But then I got really into poker and video games. And I thought, hey, I could become a professional gamer. I could become a professional poker player. But obviously professional gaming wasn't as big as it is now back then. And I just wasn't good enough to be one of the best. I was really good because I put a lot of time and effort into it. And I was really good at the strategy aspect of the game that I was playing. But I wasn't as talented as some of the best players. Poker, same kind of thing. I put years into that, but then Black Monday happened and there was nothing I could do about it. They took away my way of playing. And at the time there was no casinos to keep playing at the time. So I essentially had to give that up. And it's a good question. It really is. But I mean, I feel like that's a lot of people's big question and biggest challenge in life is just like, what do you want to do with your life? Some people are lucky enough to know exactly what they want to do in life, and it turns out that they get to do that thing. My brother's one of them. He went to school for exactly what he's doing, and he wanted to do that, and he knew it in high school. And he's got a great career and does what he loves to do. That's not usually how it plays out. So, I don't know. Mine is winning marbles. Yeah, I guess we could play some marbles, huh? Let me see what my mom said first, though. Okay. I get so annoyed. I have so many tabs open that sometimes I accidentally click the close button on one of them, and it's just so annoying. GDT, how's that going? How's that going? Well, to be fair, it did just end, so. Alrighty. This chart sucks today. How much more sideways can you go? And we're not even in like a big range. What is this? High to low is only, it's not even 200 points. Or it's a little over 200, sorry. It's like 220 points. Marbles. Looks like we still got 12. Even David's not finding any trades either. He's 0. Not a burger. Let's go with, what is this? Marbles featured. I don't remember ever seeing this track, so let's play this one. See if it's something we'd like. It says record date April 16th. So I have a feeling that this is a newer track. Let's find out. What's Black Monday? So Black Monday is when the government decided to essentially cancel all online poker. So PokerStars, Party Poker, Deep, Full Tilt. I'm trying to remember all the poker sites. They all got shut down. So no one in the U.S. could play on them anymore. They didn't get shut down, but you couldn't play on them inside the U.S. anymore. Essentially, the government was mad because there was a loophole that the poker sites were. It's literally the exact same thing as like CMEG for stocks. They were based outside the U.S., so they didn't have to pay the U.S. taxes, but they were using everyone inside the U.S. was using them. So the government didn't like that because everyone inside the U.S. is using something that is not based in the U.S., so they're not getting their cut. So they shut it down. And they still haven't brought it back. They're slowly starting to get there, but still haven't brought it back. Sports gambling's a thing, but online poker, not really. If PokerStars and all those make a comeback in online poker inside the U.S., it'll be huge. But I know that you can play like in certain states, but it's still not really a thing. And then there's the big thing with people cheating in online poker, like using automated solvers, like real-time assistance they call it, RTA. It's a big thing. But Black Monday was the day that the government basically shut down online poker in the U.S. And you had two options. You either played live, like in a casino, which I didn't have the option, or you moved to Canada and played there. The closest casinos to me were Atlantic City and New Jersey. And obviously I wasn't going to drive up there all the time as a 19-year-old or however old I was when that happened. But ask my mom. I used to play poker very religiously. All right. Let's hit play. Start. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 500, 300, 100 on a track. Let's pay attention to this one because I don't think we've played this one. What does that say? They're like little. Oh, they're little boost pads. There's a jump. Woo! Oh, okay. Catch up factor. Catch up factor. I like it. You can die too. Okay, I like it. Tony's out in the lead. So far, I'm liking this. All right, we drop down. Got a little funnel action here. Little anti-gravity fall there. Did you see that? Okay, some more catch-up factor. Okay, we got pegs that can yeet. Got some yeet pegs. Do they actually yeet, though, or are they just the little guys? Didn't see anyone actually get yeeted. All right, got some jump. Got some crisscrosses. Okay. There's a lot of catch-up factor on this map. Oh, yep, you can get yeeted. Someone just got yeeted. Someone just got the yeet sauce. TCG Andy. Down the stairs we go. Even got some hammers down there at the end. All right, we got a little washing machine coming up here. Oh, but he slides right through. Oh, what is this? Oh, he missed it. Oh, it raises. Oh, what is this? Do you die if you go on one of those? I need someone to go in one of these. Someone go in the hole. Oh, there we go. What happens? Oh, you just get stuck. You just get stuck. More catch-up factor. Dude, I'm really liking this map. There we go. Oh, he bounced. Oh, but Pollock bounced out too. Oh, yeah, okay, you guys bounced out. TCG Andy's still in the lead here. All right, here come the hammers. And this is it. Oh, I see some pegs there at the end, I think, too. But you got to avoid the hammer first. Oh, TCG Andy! That looks like it might come straight back down, though. How far is he going up? Holy crap. Yane, fall in. He got pegged. Yane, or that was Steve. I thought it was Yane. What happened to Yane? Where? Oh, I guess you just die when you go up there. Wow, it's 10:30 already? Holy smokes. Tony, second place. Waffles, third place. There it is. Wow, that was a cool track. That was a really cool track. I like that. All right, hold on. I got to switch over to the chat account real quick. Did not get a single trade on the MyFunded Futures account, which is kind of crappy. Steve with the win. Let's go. All right, I'm logging in. All right, we're logged in. Now I just got to find the NQ real quick. Oh, no, not the NQ. The MNQ. Oh, that's not even futures. That's options. MNQ front month. There we go. 2. Get them loaded. Oh, what are we even doing? Long? All right, we're going long. 1 and boom. All right, long 2 contracts. MNQ. See what happens. We're right at 20,000. All right, let's get these guys paid. Steve, first place. Let me cancel this. Get everyone their points back. 500 for you, sir. That puts you at 393,774. Open the gambling gates, he says. All right, let me get people paid. Let me get people paid, and then I'll open them. Tony, 300. That's going to put you at 6,757. Let's go. And Waffles. 100 points. Hey, it all counts. It all counts. Gambling gates have been opened. Give Liz the points? Nah, I'm good. Oh, look. Trade's going against us. Who would have thought? I swear, one of these days, I'm just going to start doing the opposite.
Little tapper up the line. Fernandez has it. Pumps. Flips. And he may challenge this at the plate. There's the tag.
Well, I didn't intend to set that up. Altuve was trying to play a little hidden ball trick right there. Throw comes in. Carter's got his double, so Altuve starts to run away. And now ball goes in pocket. Because Carter, I don't know if he knows what the ball is, but...
There goes the runner, and a fake throw by Molina, and they got the runner hung up, headed home, and he is out. What a play by Molina. The fake throw to second. He gets Chisenhall to bite.
Pop-up. Beltre over to take a look, but Adrian's a couple of rows short. And he makes the play on the carry. Now that ought to count for something.
Yeah, the umpire. Didn't you see me catch it? Boink.
What a play. 231 against Brothers.
Huge jump. And now they got Altuve hung up. Good block by Rosario. And a good feed to Brothers. And Brother Rowe just worked on Altuve.
Now that's why you practice it.
Houston takes the lead 3-2.
To short. That won't advance the runner. Oh, Simmons with a nice fake.
Never seen anybody have enough confidence to do a phantom throw and still have time to throw to first to get the out. Nice.
Ball with his average, #1 in the National League, and he's 0 for 4. Left side, it is Andrews with Beltre playing around.
Went for the deke.
Play out of Springer.
Bot's gone yet? Yep. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully it'll push the market back up for this chat account. Absolutely nothing to trade normally. This was news, so I couldn't trade that.
In the first inning, he chases back Valbuena.
Little cat and mouse game going on here with Hanley. Hanley waiting to put the tag back on him.
Williams, he wanted me to throw a breaking pitch. He specifically said throw a slider and not a fastball. We threw a slider on the outside part of the plate for a call strike 3.
Joe hollered, "Be alert." So I got halfway ready, and he just made a great pitch on me.
An Academy Award performer strikes out Bench.
In the air to center. Inciarte, he's got it. He tries to deke the runner. The throw is going to beat it.
That was a great job by Inciarte to lure him a little bit farther off the bag, but Freddie was not on the base.
Big two in that 5th inning.
Oh.
Look at trying to have a little fun. Look at him. He said, I pretended I
can in front of their adoring fans at Busch Stadium. Matt Carpenter, after a throw to first, got off the bag, stepped off the bag. Todd Helton bluffed the throw, and the hidden ball trick worked.
Man, this ball slowly hit you.
Oh, you guys can hear this? Oh, sorry. You got me watching baseball. Totally forgot I had that on. I don't think you can copyright this. I never started the next marbles race, did I? I sure didn't. Exclamation point marbles, get them in. You got 10 minutes. Trade's actually working. Let's go. Breaking out. Breaking out of that range, testing the highs here. Actually going to pull up the Tradeify account as well. See if we get a push up towards 20,100. You're the main character in a horror film. What is that movie? Not really. I don't really watch a lot of horror films. Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I don't know. I honestly don't really have an answer to that question. Good, Donald. I am gone. give this a listen.
Good morning, everybody. We're capping off the first 100-day week with our morning briefing. How does everybody feel? You like the morning briefings? Okay, we do too. That's why we're doing them. It's good to see all of you. I brought a friend out here today who is happy to take your questions, but first, some remarks. At 11 o'clock, President Trump will participate in a National Day of Prayer event where he will invite Americans of all faiths across the country to join him in asking for God's continued blessings over our great country. During the event, the president will sign an executive order establishing a Religious Liberty Commission. Later today, President Trump will travel to the University of Alabama to deliver a commencement address to the graduating class of 2025. Last night, we saw yet again why President Trump is our deal maker in chief. We secured a historic agreement to establish the United States-Ukraine Reconstruction Investment Fund. This is a first-of-its-kind economic partnership for the reconstruction and long-term economic success of Ukraine that the United States will greatly benefit from. This partnership represents the United States taking an economic stake in securing a free, peaceful, and sovereign future for Ukraine. This partnership establishes a fund that will receive 50% of royalties, license fees, and other similar payments from natural resource projects in Ukraine. President Trump has been clear from the beginning. He wants the killing in this brutal war to end. This agreement shows how invested the president is in securing a truly lasting peace. To mark President Trump's triumphant first 100 days in office, we've detailed all week how President Trump has been hard at work delivering on the promises he made to the American people. And yesterday, the president once again showcased why he is the most transparent and accessible president in American history when he held his fourth open press cabinet meeting. Every cabinet secretary went into great detail, explaining how their respective agencies are making life better for American families and businesses. And then the president allowed all of you to ask questions on anything you wanted afterwards. One of the main reasons President Trump won nearly 80 million votes, swept all 7 battleground states, and received a resounding mandate from the American public is because of the contrast he presented during the campaign and continues to this day. Everything in President Trump's agenda is grounded in one thing: common sense. While the Democrat Party went off the deep end and doubled down on pure craziness, President Trump pledged to restore common sense back to the United States of America. In a little more than 3 months, that's exactly what he's done. He recognized that America is a sovereign nation that cannot survive if it does not protect its territorial borders. So he secured the border in record time and ended the mass invasion of tens of millions of illegal aliens into our homeland. The president knows his top responsibility is ensuring the safety of the American people, which is why he's arresting violent illegal alien invaders in our communities who threaten our public safety. And it's unacceptable to President Trump to allow rampant waste, fraud, and abuse of Americans' precious tax dollars, which is why the president championed a historic DOGE effort that saved nearly $200 billion already. President Trump knows America is blessed with an abundance of liquid gold below our feet in the form of fossil fuels. So he ended Joe Biden's reckless war on American energy and is restoring American energy dominance to lower costs and strengthen our national security. President Trump believes Americans should be free to drive whatever car they want, so he ended Joe Biden's disastrous EV mandate and promoted true consumer choice. President Trump stood up for the Constitution's promise of colorblind equality before the law, so he terminated radical DEI preferencing in federal contracting and directed federal agencies to relentlessly combat private sector discrimination. DEI seeks to divide and pit Americans against each other based on immutable characteristics. President Trump put an end to it. In President Trump's America, individual dignity, hard work, and excellence are the only things that will determine if you get ahead. President Trump is a proud free speech champion, which is why he ended Joe Biden's trampling of free speech rights and the federal government's censorship of American speech on online platforms. The president believes college students have a right to speak their minds and go to school safely. Again, common sense. So he took bold action to protect Jewish American students from harassment by pro-Hamas radicals on their campuses. And President Trump knows that America's children are our future, and he'll never stop fighting for them. That's why he ended the radical, un-American indoctrination of children by eliminating support for divisive, radical gender ideology and equity ideology, and why the president protected parents' fundamental rights. And lastly, the president believes in fundamental biology. Isn't that something? Which is why he made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two sexes, male and female. And because men and women are biologically different, President Trump ended the unfair, demeaning practice of forcing women to compete against men in sports and having their private spaces invaded. When President Trump promised a complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense, he meant it. And over the next 100 days, get ready for historic trade deals, budget deals, and peace deals. For more on President Trump's common sense revolution, I will turn it over to our White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Stephen Miller. Stephen, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you, Caroline. Great to be up here with you, and great to see so many familiar faces I've had a chance to get to know over a number of years as we gather this morning to continue our celebration of President Trump's unprecedented and historic first 100 days in office, what are without doubt the greatest 100 days to begin any American presidency in the history of this nation. This week you've heard about the historic actions President Trump has taken to secure our homeland, to secure our sovereignty, to secure our economy and our supply chains and our industrial base. Today you're also going to hear from me about what President Trump has done to secure our values, our culture, and our way of life from the unwavering assault from the radical left and the communists and the Democrat Party. One of the most significant crises that President Trump inherited upon taking office was the wave of racial discrimination, so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies that have taken over both public sector and private sector entities all across the United States of America. Perhaps the most dramatic example of this is that our air traffic controllers were being hired and promoted based on race and gender, not their ability to conduct our nation's air traffic. I would estimate that probably 90% of Americans would agree with the statement that airline safety should be based on your ability to keep, airline safety jobs should be based on your ability to keep planes landing and taking off and flying safely, not on what demographic box you check. President Trump has ended across the entire federal government all hiring, recruiting, retention, promotion, and training based on race and sex. This includes in our law enforcement agencies. So again, when we took office, even in sensitive law enforcement, national security, and intelligence agencies, we were hiring individuals not on their ability to carry a weapon, not on their ability to keep Americans safe, not on their ability to conduct sensitive intelligence operations, but based upon race and sex. And obviously, that is unacceptable. It's going to be merit-based across the whole federal government. But this wasn't just the federal government. This was the private sector, and this was also, of course, our entire university and education system. So President Trump's Department of Justice, working with other departments and agencies, have made clear that this administration is going to fully enforce Title VI, Title VII, and Title IX of our Federal Civil Rights Code. Discrimination based on race and sex is prohibited by law, and this administration will vigorously enforce that. And companies, small or large, that violate plain text of federal statutes will face appropriate financial and other penalties. This administration is not going to let our society devolve into communist, woke, DEI strangulation. We are going to have a system of merit, which is not just a social and cultural issue, it's an economic issue. When you hire, retain, and recruit based on merit, as President Trump has directed, you advance innovation, you advance growth, you advance investment, you advance job creation, you create the best and safest product for all Americans. When a citizen goes to, say, a hospital in a medical emergency, they don't care what race or sex their doctor or their nurse is. They want the best treatment they can get in that emergency. When they're flying a plane or when they're on an aircraft, they want that pilot to be the best pilot, the safest pilot, not caring what that pilot's race or sex is. This applies across the whole government. In particular, looking at our university system, this administration has opened investigations into universities across the country for violating, we talk a lot about Supreme Court rulings, universities across this country
he's not
are
wrong.
in plain and direct violation of the Supreme Court's ruling that affirmative action, as in racial quotas and set-asides, are illegal. Students must be admitted to universities on a color-blind basis. But we have demonstrated through clear evidence that our university system, including our medical schools, and perhaps particularly our medical schools, are engaging in race-based discrimination, racial set-asides, racial quota schemes, and other efforts to evade the Supreme Court's ruling, and again, the plain text of federal statute. So universities are on notice, and universities are already facing the financial consequences of their noncompliance with federal law. The clearest example that we're all familiar with, of course, being Harvard, which is engaged in repeat, systemic, and sustained violations of federal civil rights law. Another area of civil rights law that we talk about a lot, of course, is Title IX, sex-based discrimination. And this administration ended the Biden administration's policy and the Democrat Party's policy of allowing men into women's sports, men into women's spaces. We are using every single legal and financial tool we have at President Trump's direction to make it clear that schools and universities are and will lose
just a boring day,
funds,
man.
as you've seen in Maine,
Just trying to make the best of it.
to invade women's sports and women's spaces. And this applies to our whole K-12 system. The Department of Justice is also coordinating with state and local law enforcement to fight child abuse.
How about
in
you?
our
How are
school
you?
systems.
How was
It
your
is
day?
child abuse to change a child's gender, particularly if you do not inform the parents. In other words, if a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old goes to school, or a 7-year-old goes to school, and the teacher tries to turn the boy into a girl or the girl into a boy, that is child abuse. And this administration is treating that as child abuse. And it is a gross violation of parental rights. This also includes the administration's message to our hospital systems that they cannot and will not be allowed to use taxpayer dollars to perform chemical castrations and sexual mutilations of children. Castration surgeries, castration drugs.
It got you
sterilization
40,000
treatments
points.
of
What are you
children
talking about?
are barbaric. They violate all sound medical ethics. They are completely unwarranted. They harm children for life irreversibly. It is child torture. It is child abuse. It is medical malpractice. And so the Department of Health and Human Services, under the leadership of
It will
Bobby
be
Kennedy,
again soon enough. Don't worry.
as well as the Department of Justice and other departments of this government, are making clear to our medical providers and our hospital systems that you cannot use taxpayer dollars to perform these barbaric procedures on America's children. And HHS has systematically eliminated all of the junk, fake science that was produced under the Biden administration, promoting sex changes on children, promoting the idea of sterilizing children. That's been cleaned out. That's been
You're not wrong,
removed,
Gonzalez.
and new guidance is being issued to doctors and hospitals advising them that they cannot perform these horrifying procedures, these irreversible procedures on our nation's children. We are also making clear in our prison system, male prisoners will not be allowed into women's prisons. The Biden administration promoted prison rape by putting men into female prisons. That is obviously insane, cruel, and unacceptable. And even though the Democrat Party and Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrat media continue to fight to put men into women's prisons, this administration will not allow that. And will not allow men, as well, in our K-12 system, into women's private spaces and restrooms. We have seen horrifying example after example of young girls being sexually assaulted because school districts have allowed men into women's and girls' private spaces. This administration, President Trump, is at the forefront of protecting women and protecting girls. And nowhere is that clearer than when we are talking about fighting radical gender ideology. This administration is also fighting to get critical race theory out of our school districts. Children will be taught to love America. Children will be taught to be patriots. Children will be taught civic values for schools that want federal taxpayer
Which
funding.
prop,
So as
Brad?
we close the Department of Education and we provide funding to states, we are going to make sure that these funds are not being used to promote communist ideology. For any nation to be successful, it cannot teach its children to hate themselves and to hate their country. So these are a few of the areas in which President Trump has fought the cancerous communist woke culture that was destroying this country, where we were led to believe that men
Is Froggo
were
even
women,
here?
that women were men, that racial discrimination was good, that merit was bad, and that safety and physical security mattered
yeah,
less
scroll it up, I see him.
than the feelings of liberal
Yeah, if you want to.
ideologues. The president has also fought to return the Department of Justice to its core mission of protecting public safety and locking up violent criminals, instead of using the Department of Justice to target conservatives, to target Christians, to target people of faith. The last administration cruelly...
We were talking about you earlier, Froggo, saying how you're getting lazy. You don't show up until 10:30, 11 o'clock anymore. And here you are, 11 o'clock.
Trump supporters, conservatives, and Christians. That persecution has ended. The Department of Justice and the FBI are back in the business of going after bad guys, of going after gangs, of going after criminals, and keeping Americans safe. Let me just conclude before taking questions by noting that when you look at the sweep of the first 100 days, every single crisis that has afflicted America for years, sometimes decades, sometimes generations, this president has fought head on. He has taken on every entrenched power structure and system all across this government, this swamp, this town. That includes, of course, the DOGE efforts to slash corrupt, wasteful government spending, graft, and corruption, and to stop billions of taxpayer dollars from going to radical left NGOs. These are left-wing nonprofits that are used to advance illegal immigration, to advance open borders, to advance gender ideology, and to advance all of this insanity that has been turning our country in the wrong direction for so many years. President Trump took head on the trade crisis afflicting this country with the destruction of our manufacturing and industrial base, the shameful betrayal of the American worker by Joe Biden and the globalists that sent all of our supply chains overseas. He took head on the catastrophe of mass, unlimited illegal immigration that was turning us into a failed third world state, and achieved the lowest level of illegal immigration in recorded history without even a close second. He took on the economic crisis afflicting this country by reopening American energy, by defeating inflation, by lowering gas prices, by ending the onslaught and reversing the onslaught of federal regulation, by reopening coal, shale, oil, natural gas, and fighting now for the largest tax cut and reform and the largest deregulation reform and the largest energy reform in American history. These are just some of the things that have ushered in the new golden age, along with his fight to restore the peace that we had for 4 years under the previous administration before Joe Biden sunk this planet into bloodshed and war in the Middle East, in Europe,
Sound like I said
and rising
bloodshed.
tensions in Asia. President Trump, in every area of conflict around the globe, has been fighting to restore peace, security, stability, harmony. So he inherited an economic catastrophe, a border catastrophe, a public safety catastrophe, and a cultural catastrophe. And in every case, he has reversed those catastrophes and brought America into the new golden age. So I thank you for your time, and I look forward to any questions you have.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. And as always, we'll start with our new media seat today. Chris Bedford from the Blaze Media. Why don't you kick us off?
Thank you very much. Stephen, what is the end goal of the China tariffs right now? Is the idea to open up the Chinese markets through a deal to a better market for exporting American goods to China, or is it a reconfiguration of global trade in a way that isolates China from free countries?
No. So China is a unique situation, obviously. The president has talked at length about what happened to us economically since China's entrance into the World Trade Organization and the trillions and trillions of dollars of trade deficits that we've racked up with China over the period of that time, and what that's meant for our national security, what that's meant for our economic security, what that's meant for our supply chains. Obviously, right now, the Secretary of the Treasury is in the process of developing a plan that will answer the questions that you're talking about, but the president's goals have been very clear on these points, which is that he is not going to allow China to continue to steal our intellectual property, to continue to illegally dump and subsidize their goods in our markets, to manipulate their currency, to rack up an unsustainable trade deficit. We need to have a trade relationship with China that does not do harm to our nation's economic and national security. And that has to be the guidepost of any objective. At the same time, tariffs will bring significant revenue into this country that will allow us to pursue our dramatic plan of tax cuts and reforms.
Awesome. Great. Bloomberg, go ahead.
Hi. First thing as well, similar to that question, I'm curious, Kevin Hassett, when you see NBC this morning, said that they were expecting some sort of news on tariffs by the end of the day. Do you have any insight into that?
I don't want to get ahead of any announcement, but I'll just reiterate that Right now, countries from all over the world, because of President Trump's leadership, are desperate and dying to make trade deals with the United States. We're going to evaluate each of those deals, and President Trump is personally involved in making sure that these negotiations serve only one interest, which is the interest of the United States of America, and we'll end up with a deal in these cases where, yes, the other countries, obviously, will have their own demands and their own interests, but nothing will go into effect that doesn't serve the interests of America and the American people.
Thank you. Stephen, this morning GM is putting a dollar figure on how much the president's tariffs will impact the company. The CEO says tariffs will cost GM between $4 and $5 billion this year. The CEO of Ford says he can't commit to not raising prices because of tariffs. Is the administration open to doing more to give automakers relief?
The question, unfortunately, misses the entire point, which is that U.S. automakers have announced dramatic investments and expansions inside the United States. American auto plants are growing, they are expanding, they're opening new facilities, they're expanding existing facilities that are already in operation, because it is now the case that for the first time in our lives, that American cars receive preference in America's markets. The U.S. auto industry used to control the entire world. I believe the number during the heyday was that 70% of all cars in the world were made in Michigan. And now, of course, we've become a tiny fraction of the global market. And the reason for that is because the United States opened its markets to every single foreign cheater and every single foreign nation that subsidized its goods on the face of the earth, and their markets have been closed to ours. Japan closed their market to our cars, the entire EU closed their market to our cars, South Korea closed their market to our cars. All of the countries I just mentioned have tens of billions of dollars of annual trade deficits in automobiles with the United States. These are supposedly pure nations, nations that have at least a somewhat equivalent per capita GDP. So it is impossible under the terms of fair trade, if you have two nations with similar per capita GDP, to have such uneven trade flows in automobiles. What the president has done with his car tariff, we have the most desirable market in the world, is if you want to sell cars tariff-free, tax-free to our market, your plant has to operate in the United States. The only alternative to that is to have no U.S. automobile industry whatsoever, which is where this was headed, to be clear. If we stayed on this current path, within a few years, there would have been no U.S. automobile industry. And what little was left of it would have been in Mexico. Because U.S. auto companies have steadily been shifting their supply chains to Mexico, where they believe it is cheaper to make their products. In reality, it'll be cheaper to make them here because there'll be no tariff for anything made in the United States, and we'll have the cheapest energy and the best regulatory environment in the face of the earth.
But in the meantime, while manufacturing ramps up, American consumers may pay more. Do you agree?
Not on cars they won't, because again, there's now a massive economic incentive for automobile producers to expand production in the United States, and whatever they make here, there will be no tariff.
We'll go to the back row. Go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. Today, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce released a letter to the Trump administration asking for small business tariff relief. They say that's necessary because in order to save small businesses and to stave off a recession. Stephen, is the administration considering small business tariff relief?
The relief for small businesses is going to come in the form of the largest tax cut in American history. A tax cut, by the way, that every single Democrat is planning to vote against. They're voting for a tax hike on every middle-class family of about $4,000. The president has made clear that there will be a 100% expensing for investment in the United States. Companies that invest in the United States will be able to deduct 100% of that cost from their tax liability. This will be the most pro-small business tax bill in American history. And at the same time, this is what you have to understand about the plan, is as they're able to do that, as they're able to reshore those supply chains, that also means they'll pay no tariff. So you'll have the lowest tax environment and there'll be no tariff because their production and supply chains will be in the United States.
So that's a no on tariff relief for small businesses in the short term?
It's a yes on tax relief for small businesses. And again, you only pay the tariff for products that are made outside the United States.
Edward.
Yeah, thanks. So on the rare earth mineral deal that was signed last night, when can that deal be operationalized? What's the time frame? And what kind of leverage does that give Ukraine over Russia?
I think the more important point about the Ukraine deal, and I would hopefully have an update for you soon on how quickly it can be operationalized, but we'll be moving at full speed, not only on that mineral deal, by the way, but on every mineral deal that this president has been unleashing. So we're opening up mines all across this country. We're also pursuing energy and mineral deals all over the world. Since the president issued his executive order also on deregulating coal, we've seen dramatic coal production increases already in the United States. So we're taking advantage of the trillions of dollars in coal wealth and mineral wealth that exists in the United States. We're a very mineral-rich country. But with respect to that deal, we'll move it and operationalize it as fast as we possibly can. But it's meant to pay back the United States, this is the key point, for the hundreds of billions of dollars that our taxpayers have spent subsidizing the war in Ukraine. So it is repayment to the United States, and that's one of the most important points to understand about it.
What's the leverage? Does it give? What kind of leverage does it give?
The president's goal, again, is to end the killing, to achieve a peace settlement. That remains, of course, the overriding objective.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
This administration has stressed the need for price transparency for things like healthcare bills and concert tickets. So why is it a political and hostile act for Amazon to display price transparency on consumer goods?
Well, I think it's the wrong way of looking at it, which is why would, first of all, that proposal is gone now, but why would Amazon, of all the different things that go into a theoretical price input, right? For example, does Amazon list the cost of California's regulations on everything made in California? Anything you make in California, you have a massive price increase because of the healthcare regulations that are unworkable in that state, because of the labor regulations that are unworkable in that state, because of the subsidies that go to illegal aliens in that state, because of all the bureaucracy. So anything being produced in California has a massive built-in
Just
price
the
increase.
chat
So
account,
why
which is
would
actually doing
Amazon
really
have
well.
a list saying if you purchase it in California instead of in Alabama, this is the premium that you pay. That you pay. This was a clear attempt by whoever proposed it originally, I don't know, because Amazon says they were never going to do it, to try to undermine our trade negotiations with China. I'll make another important point in this, which is that there's been many complaints about the fact that there are a lot of products that are sold on Amazon that are actually ripoffs of American products that are then stolen by China, and then they take our IP and they put them into products to try to undersell our manufacturers. So to the extent that we are engaged in labeling issues on Amazon, I would say that would be the most significant one to fix, is making sure we're not undercutting American consumers.
And then one on Abrego Garcia, please. The administration is reportedly inquiring about his return. Is that to check a box for compliance, or does President Trump want him back on U.S. soil, or both?
So, as Secretary Rubio said yesterday in the cabinet meeting, this administration is not going to publicly discuss the inside details of our foreign policy and negotiations with a foreign country. And in particular, we are not going to allow a district court judge to try to become the Secretary of State. Secretary Rubio is the one who, under his leadership and direction at the State Department, is managing the day-to-day relationship with El Salvador. Let's just take a moment, number one, to express our gratitude to El Salvador for agreeing to take some of the most dangerous terrorists off of America's streets and to put them into a safe environment where they cannot continue to engage in acts of terrorism or coordination with the Maduro regime. You may have seen recently an FBI assessment that was unclassified that said that the Maduro regime is using and planning to use Tradeify terrorists to carry out assassination plots on American soil. Now, very few in this room covered that. I'll let you all ask yourselves why you didn't cover it and why your editors didn't assign that story to you. Something I think you should think about on your own. But this is a earth-shattering piece of news. The Biden administration imported the terrorist army that our own FBI assesses is planning assassination strikes on American soil against critics of the Maduro regime. Those are the terrorists that President Trump is finding and apprehending that our Democrat judges and Democrat activists are trying to keep on U.S. soil. Tradeify has the same legal status as Al-Qaeda and ISIS. MS-13 has the same legal status as Al-Qaeda and ISIS. These are foreign terrorists operating on our soil. And our gratitude to El Salvador for agreeing to take custody of these terrorists is immense. With respect to the case that you mentioned, there's now even been more evidence that has been made public of this person's violent, repeated threats and assaults against his spouse. Someone who had repeated, documented human trafficking and human smuggling offenses. Somebody that has extensively documented membership in MS-13, a terrorist organization, and of course he had MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles. This is a person that was a clear and present danger to the safety of the American people. And it is a sad reflection on the state of our media, and many of the outlets represented in this room, that you obsessively try to shill
What
for
just
this
happened?
MS-13 terrorists.
There's a lot of volume that just
no
came in.
coverage occurred in your papers about any of the Americans that were raped and tortured and murdered by the illegals that Biden was importing into our country. You know, you talk about due process. The Biden administration made the decision to give extensive due process to 2 Tradeify terrorists that were apprehended at the border
Probably not wrong.
just a couple years ago. They were 2 gentlemen. They were from Venezuela. They were members of Tradeify. The Biden administration Border Patrol apprehended them and made the decision to provide them with extensive due process, put them onto a program known as supervised release, and put them on ankle monitors so that they could go through a lengthy legal, judicial determination as to whether these legal aliens who had just set foot on U.S. soil might want to live in the United States for the rest of their lives. What was the result of that decision? What was the result of that choice that was made? Those 2 men kidnapped a young girl named Jocelyn Ungary from her family. They beat her, they sexually assaulted her, they tortured her, they stripped her, they murdered her, and they dumped her body. That is what the Biden administration's policy was. Most of your papers never covered her story when it happened. To the extent that you covered it at all, it was because President Trump forced you to cover it by highlighting it repeatedly over and over again. He had to shame you into covering it. And each and every one of you that sides over and over again with these MS-13 terrorists, to the extent that you have the financial means to do so, you all choose to live in condos or homes or houses as far away from these kinds of gangbangers as you possibly can. If I offered any one of you a rent-free home with no taxes to pay in any of these gang neighborhoods, and I said your neighbors are MS-13 terrorists or Mexican mafia or Sinaloa cartel or Tradeify, I couldn't pay you to live there. But yet you, with your coverage, are trying to force innocent Americans to have these people as their neighbors, and that one day their daughter may be abducted from their home and raped and murdered. So you're not going to get an ounce of sympathy from this administration or President Trump for the terrorists who've invaded our homes and our country.
Thank you. Peter, we'll take a couple more questions.
A couple questions on Doge, of course, because that's the topic that you're here to speak about. But I want
He
to
got
ask another
pissed.
question about the topic of prices. We heard from the president on this just yesterday, right now, on prices and the risk that there could be some short-term, as he said, shortages. He was referring specifically to dolls. What do you tell Americans right now, Stephen, who say they can't afford to, in the president's words, be patient? Americans who voted for President Trump on his promise that he would lower prices across the board on day one.
But he did lower prices across the board on day one.
Well, grocery prices last month went up 0.4%, of course. So I mean, just across the board, not exclusively eggs.
Inflation, as you would acknowledge, is down substantially. Gas prices are down substantially. The new GDP report showed a 22% record increase in investment in the United States of America. So all of the, and don't even, egg prices, of course, which was all you guys talked about for a few days, I think are down like 80%. The reality is that we can either surrender economically to China, or we can reclaim and reshore our manufacturing base and our industrial needs. And it's not just China. In the event of any national emergency, this is the president's first duty as commander-in-chief. In the event of any national emergency, we cannot be reliant on foreign countries for steel, aluminum, energy, technology, any of the essential components that we need to keep this country running. He is fulfilling his duty as commander-in-chief that every president before him had failed to fulfill or even actively betrayed. And despite inheriting all of this, as I mentioned, inflation down, jobs up, and particularly, by the way, jobs for American workers. So for the first time, you look at these jobs reports, the government workers are going down, which artificially, of course, increased previous job totals. The employment of non-citizens is going down. The employment of American citizens is exploding. Remember, all the job gains during the Biden administration, so-called gains, on net were for foreign workers. So if you look at the stock of American workers over his whole administration, they lost jobs on net.
Yeah,
so if you're an American worker,
this guy's
you
pretty
lived through
sweet.
4
Stephen
years
Miller.
of the Biden depression. That was the economic reality that now that President Trump is rescuing. And again, if
He's
you
not
make your
afraid to
product
speak
in
his
America,
mind.
there's no tariff. And as we develop advanced manufacturing techniques, increased AI, increased robotics. It'll be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper to manufacture in America.
But to be clear, you said that prices have gone down across the board. The president himself acknowledged that on toys you may end up paying, on dolls he was referring to, you may end up paying a little bit more right now. So in terms of
He was making the point that I think almost every American consumer
Order
agrees with,
filled.
but if they had a choice between and I'm a parent of young children, you had a choice between a doll from China that might have, say, lead paint in it, that is not as well constructed as a doll made in America that has a higher environmental and regulatory standard and that is made to a higher degree of quality. And those two products are both on Amazon, that yes, you probably would be willing to pay more for a better made American product, but here's the key point. With the tax cuts, the regulation cuts, the energy price decrease, and everything else that President Trump is doing to unleash this era of American prosperity and prevent the road we were on to get off that road of financial ruin and doom, means that it will be cheaper than ever to make and manufacture in America. I think that answers your question.
So I'm going to
do one more.
Stephen, can I just... Can I ask the Doge question? Can I ask about Doge?
Peter, we just gave you 2 questions. Brian, go ahead.
Doge, but I'll wait. That's okay.
Thank you. Last night, Kamala Harris delivered her first major speech after losing the election. She attacked Trump personally, attacked the policies. Any comment from the White House on that?
Well, I think it was a great reminder to the American people of just how blessed we all are that the leader sitting in the Oval Office today is President Donald Trump and not President Kamala Harris. It was a helpful reminder of just what a travesty and a tragedy that would have been. It would have been the end of America. And it gives me a chance to bring this whole thing home. If we continued on this road of radical regulation, choking off American energy, sending our supply chains to foreign countries, taxing our economy to death, pushing this cancerous woke ideology on our children, ending merit, ending scientific innovation, ending public safety, allowing, everyone goes to the stores these days, everything's locked up, criminals roam free, law-abiding citizens under the previous administration were punished while gangbangers were given red carpet treatment. Democrats, of course, are still giving gangbangers red carpet treatment. And then the border invasion. If those policies had continued, it would have been the end of the American Republic. And the only thing Americans want to hear from Kamala Harris is an apology for joining Joe Biden. Remember, she was the border czar. Joining
Order
Joe Biden
filled.
in aiding and abetting the invasion
Yeah, I
of
took
our
a trade
country.
over here.
And we're never going to stop talking about
Made
this.
200.
Because what they did to this country is unforgivable. It is an eternal stain on the Democrat Party. Every day we read another story. Every day we arrest another
I was
alien
trying to
they let
take a
into this
trade over
country
on DOS,
who
but
raped a child,
I couldn't get filled.
who beat a woman within an inch of her life, who murdered a mom, who murdered a dad, who trafficked drugs into this country, who trafficked fentanyl into this country, who are responsible for dead and slaughtered Americans. And I don't know what's broken in the Washington press corps, that none of that moves them emotionally. The only thing that gets them exercised is, do we need to have more trials for terrorist supporters? We need to have more trials for gangbangers. We need to have more trials for illegal alien invaders, even though Congress and the Constitution clearly say that you can expel invaders and illegal aliens quickly, efficiently, and properly. This president has literally saved America, and I could not be prouder. I could not be prouder, as I know Caroline feels the same way, to come every single day to this building where we have a leader sitting in office whose first, last, and every thought is the safety, prosperity, security, and sovereignty of the citizens. That's an important word, people. Citizens of this republic. Thank you all.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone. And just to add on the Kamala Harris point, I think I speak for everyone at the White House. We encourage Kamala Harris to continue going out and do speaking engagements. You'll hear from the president at 11 o'clock. See you guys later.
She's like, we encourage her to keep digging a hole. All right. I have a lot to do. I'm watching I was hoping that this would kind of rebound from here. Give us the opportunity to get out towards the highs. I'm going to add with the intention of just cutting it if it goes lower. Either we give a little bit more back or maybe we get a quick little bounce here and make a little bit more out of it. Looking for like maybe right around 100. So we can get a bounce back up there. Yeah, I was letting you guys gamble because we were sitting there listening to that, but yeah, I'm not even going to run marbles. I need to get out of here. I need to get some stuff done. I just canceled to so you guys get your points back. All right, I'm slowing gambling down. You'll have one more as of now. Donald's like, so close. Oh, I tried to cancel that because it looks like we're going to go lower. All right. Still made 265 on that. I think we would have made like 300 had we not had those ads, but no biggie. Let's give this 1 sec here. Dang, it kind of felt like it was going to do that, but I was hoping it would continue. Poopy.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck and spit on that thing. You get me?
Well, dang, I was really hoping that that would have popped, but it's looking like that might be a fake pop. Fake popper. Oh, maybe. There we go. All right. I'm just going to cut the rest of this, I think. All right. Yeah. So we made like an extra 20 bucks. All right. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later. Peace.